Very excited to be joined by the coach, Erik Spoelstra, newly extended Erik Spoelstra. Thanks for the time, Coach. Really appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah.
It's good to have you here, man. Is there any and players always talking about contracts and whatnot? Like, does that ever stress you out, or do you feel like it's going to get done? It gets done when it gets done.
I don't know how many of these I've actually extended, but I just used to prefer it when it didn't make the news. I could just go under the radar. I mean, that's more my personality, but I get it nowadays. And look, I feel very honored and humbled by it. I take it very seriously that I'm one of the caretakers and stewards of this culture. You know, Mickey and Pat started this thing in 1995, and I think about that every single day. This thing started at the old Miami Arena.
Right.
And I have a picture of them with their hard hats on and looking where this new arena on the bay would be. And we're looking at 5, trips to the finals and 3 championships later, but it was their vision for that. And I take it very seriously, this responsibility and, to move this culture on and more importantly, to get this team with this new chapter of Miami Heat to the place where we all want it to be. Where we've been is not good enough, and that's the standard, and we're going to work to try to change that.
What does it mean to you? Because it feels like, they go through NBA coaches. they're getting turned out. So the idea that there is some stability, that you get that opportunity, and how much of it, because we're kind of seeing it now with some of the football teams of new coaches having to deal with chaos and new teams and having to build from the ground up, that you had that chance to have your young years and go through high pressure years with championship runs, and you got through it all. Like, how much is it just the coaches need that opportunity to have mistakes and go through the flaws of the roster and all the things, because you can't always control what talent you have.
Yeah, and I don't take it for granted, and that's why I try to be a voice around the league, just that there should be more consistency with organizations. I know myself, I can speak to it personally, that I became a better coach through some of the disappointments that we went through over the years, and in other places I might not have been afforded that opportunity to get better and then continue this culture with this group. That's why we think we're able to turn things over quicker. It's not that we have to start fully over again and acclimate somebody that has a whole new philosophy and system and everything. We're just trying to reset, recalibrate our culture and try to modernize it to whatever team we have that fits. But it's unfortunate. Coaching staffs come and go too quickly in all pro sports. But it starts with a lack of alignment, from the top, or a lack of a vision, from the ownership to management to coaching. It all works together, and we've worked together now for going on 25 years. And we've been through all you can go through, the ups, the downs, the pain, the learning, the resetting, all of that, and we think it makes us better, and hopefully more franchises will do that because this profession is a challenge, and if you don't have everybody on the same page, it's even more difficult.
So listening to Jimmy Butler, went to his press conference on Friday, and he was talking about one of the things that he loves here is I gotta get out of bed quick because people are beating me to the gym, and he's not used to that at certain places. What has it been like from your standpoint, seeing everybody be so eager to continue to take that step up, because you guys weren't happy that last year was good enough?
Yeah, well, welcome to the Miami Heat. Look, everybody's here in this locker room for a reason. We go after those kind of players. I wear a T-shirt all the time, but it's true, and for better or worse. And we're not saying our culture's better. We just believe in what we do. We're not for everyone. We're not. Our standards for work, our standards for preparation and accountability, all of these things are not for everybody. But we felt that it was an alignment with Jimmy, that he speaks a very similar language. He told me that when we went out to dinner. He said, "I'm the hardest worker you're ever going to see." I said, well, that's saying a lot. We've had a lot of people come through this building, and that actually matters to us. And I don't not necessarily, it's not about me trying to prove him wrong or who's a harder worker or anything. I said, you're just going to go into a locker room with a bunch of savages. I can tell you that. I can guarantee you that, because we've handpicked them. We want the same type of kind of guys that aren't afraid of competition, guys that are really going to be ambitious and work for something. So they'll become better, and then guys that are willing to sacrifice ultimately to accomplish something that they couldn't do by themselves.
So you've had a lot of young guys come in. You've molded them into the players that you thought they would be. Is it weird having a guy like Jimmy Butler when he's almost the finished product of Heat culture, hard work, and all that? You don't just see that everywhere.
No, and that's why, probably in some instances he wasn't for everybody.
Right.
That doesn't make it better or worse.
Wait, he was for a lot of people.
Yeah, and again, we have that alignment. We speak the same language, and that's not an indictment on anybody else. So much of this league, and so much of sports, professional athletics, is the right fit, the right timing, the right place at the right time, and when you don't have those things, sometimes that's where there's a little bit of confusion and people aren't on the same page. That doesn't solve everything. He's still going to have to go through an onboarding process of learning our culture. It's the same language, but he's going to have to learn and earn things, and then ultimately we brought him here for a reason. Yeah, he is expected to be the voice. We're not bringing him in here to fall behind the scenes. No, that's not what we want. We want him to ultimately to be a leader of this group. But that will take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. And even he and I have spent a lot of time this summer, but we still don't know each other through competition. We won't know that until we go on a 2-game losing streak or something like that. Then we'll get to know each other for real.
When you know you guys are going to get him, and it's finalized, when do you go into these are the ways I kind of want to tinker with it, because it's knowing that like you try and expand guys' roles and think differently and how they can do better. When do you go into that mode, and kind of how do you do that? Do you watching film of him? Like, do you always have your mind on it?
Yeah. I watch a bunch of film on him, a bunch of film on other guys that are similar to him, and then, we get to work on what we think will be something better. And look, we brought him here for a reason, and that's to help us get to a place where we're accustomed to being. But he came here for a reason. And I told him this when we went to dinner the first time. I think it's a credit to him. And I really applaud him for being the 30th pick in the draft to wherever you want to rank him. It's not about that, but he's one of the top 15, 12 or 15, 9 to 15, wherever. He's top 15 players on this planet. That is a credit to his work ethic, his will, his drive, his ambition. But he is also coming here to be something different and more. And hopefully we can bring that out of him, that shouldn't just be where he wants to stop. Right now, as 30 years old, we're going to keep on pushing him, get him uncomfortable, and hopefully he can get to a higher level, which will help us get to a place where we want to go.
Finally, before we get you out of here, why weren't you at the genie party on the yacht with Mickey Harrison and Dwyane and Pat Riley all dressed like sultans? It looked like the greatest time ever.
You know what's funny about that is we were preparing for the hurricane. So I was actually at Malik Allen's house. He invited a bunch of us over.
Really?
So we just had kind of a pool party with our kids, and all the assistant coaches were over there. And I got this text from Dwyane. And it was a video, I guess, that was posted on social media later, like 2 days later. But I played it, and it's him and Pat doing that dance. And I literally played it 20 times in front of my staff.
You couldn't figure out who it was.
I knew exactly who it was.
I'm like, who is this?
But I texted Dwyane back. I said, I literally have no idea how to take this. I don't know whether to laugh, to cringe, or whatever. I was like, good thing you guys are having whatever kind of fun you're having out there. We're getting ready for a hurricane out here.
That's awesome. Coach, best of luck for the upcoming season. Thanks for spending some time with us. We're looking forward to the year.
Appreciate the time. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.